Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the day that the Lord has made. We are rejoicing and we are glad in it. Happy Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, June the 11th, 2024. We're live right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. And you, my friend, are watching the Ramon Preston Show. Please do me a quick favor. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. Tag Lolly Dolly, everybody, and let them know that your boy, Ramon Preston, my squad, we're all live right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta on this beautiful Tuesday. Here's what I need you to do for me real quick. Put in the comments what city you're watching me from. Let me know what city you're watching us from. What city, what state, what country. I don't know. Maybe you're on a different planet. Let me know what planet you're watching your boy from. Appreciate you all for joining the show today. We're going to have an awesome discussion on how to build a business empire. I'm going to share with you 8 keys to building a business empire. Now, of course, I want to prepare you mentally for what I'm going to talk to you about today, but make sure you have a pen, a notepad, or another device to take notes because I'm giving you the game. And just in case you don't know, I am a preacherpreneur. Of course, I'm a preacherpreneur. Have been both for over 20 years. My wife and I, we have a congregation. We are pastors, ministers, preachers. We have a business, organizational enterprise made up of business and real estate consulting, coaching, education, and of course, real estate investment. So everything that I share with you on this show, all the content that I share on social media, it is based on the life that I personally live as a preacherpreneur. And most importantly for you, it is designed to help you properly start, structure, and scale any business. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. The concepts that I teach about business, the principles that I share with you about business works in any industry. So it really doesn't matter. If you're an entrepreneur, a small business owner, and you want to properly start, or maybe you've already started, but you want to properly structure, maybe you've already structured it, but you want to scale that business to 6-7 figures and beyond. I know I have concepts and principles that can show you how to engineer $1 million enterprise so that you can at some point have an empire. So there are stages to that, right? You got to at least get the business going. That business needs to grow into some level of enterprise. And then at that next stage, at that next level, you're able to transition into an empire. So today's show, I'm going to be talking about how to build a business empire. Now, these 8 keys that I'm sharing with you are really just the surface. I actually had this deep dive last night in my weekly coaching call. So every week I host a live, private, exclusive coaching call with everyone who's inside of our Millionaire Mentorship 1-year program. And so during this deep dive, of course, I dug into a lot of the layers of these 8 keys, but it was so good. We had such a great response, really good Q&A, a lot of great feedback. I just decided to share with you, my extended community, some of this information. So during the course of today's show, if you have any questions, put the questions in the comments. Now, even though we're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, we're streaming live on LinkedIn and I believe Threads, X. We are also live on Instagram, but all of my IG family, you're not a part of the stream, so I can't see your comments in the chat in front of me. So if you do have a question on IG, put your question in the comments. My team will be circling them back around to make sure that we answer any questions you have. If for some reason you ask a question and we don't get to your question, don't worry about it, bruh. Don't worry about it, boo. We gonna get back to you. We will circle back around after the show We stay lurking in them comments to make sure that if you got a question, we'll answer those questions. So today's show, we're going to be talking about how do you build a business empire? How do you build a business empire? And again, when I use the word empire, I'm thinking 8 figures, 9 figures, 10 figures. Just in case you don't know what those figures represent, 8 figures is at least $10 million. 9 figures is at least $100 million. 10 figures is at least $1 billion. And in today's world, it ain't unusual for you and I as entrepreneurs and business owners to think of the possibilities of having a 8, 9, 10 plus figure empire. It's possible. But guess what? You ain't getting to 8 if you can't get to 7. You ain't getting to 7 if you can't get to 6. You ain't getting to 6 if you ain't figured out 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So even if you're at 0, you ain't got a pot to put it in or when to throw it out. You're dead broke. Guess what? At least 0 is a number. We want to get you to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because it's not until you really get into the mid to high 6s into the 7 figure that you're going to see some different change and momentum. So we want to get you at least to 6 figures so that you can start moving towards 7. Either way, the goal is to get you to the empire level. That's where I want to be. I want to have an empire. But in order for me to have an empire, I got to build it. So I'm not at 8 figures. I'm not at 9, 10 figures. I want to be, and I'm working towards building to get there. But we all have to go through the same process. Now, with that being said, here are the 8 keys to building an empire. And again, I'm not going to get into all the layers, so you got to take what I'm giving you. But if there's something that you hear that resonates with you, if there's some information that I share with you today and you like, oh my God, I'm going to need that. I want you to understand everything that I'm sharing with you in these 8 keys. I have courses available to teach you these keys. I have a mentorship program that we teach this every week in our coaching calls, in our courses, in our workshops. And guess what? I'm a business consultant. I'm a coach. I could sit down with you any day and walk you through engineering a $1 million enterprise so that you can begin the process of building your empire. We do this over here at Ramon Preston Enterprises. So let's get to it. The first key to building a business empire is your entity structure. You got to make sure your entity structure is right. So what do I mean by that? Well, you want to make sure that you have your holding company set up. Holding company is going to be the parent company, LLC number 1. Now, some people may say, do I need an LLC? Do I need an S Corp or C Corp? Listen, I've talked to attorneys. I have a lot of good relationships with them. I have an amazing tax strategist and CPA. I know those who have CPAs and tax strategists that have said the same thing mine says. And if you're starting out with LLC number 1 as a holding company, it's okay for it to be an LLC. Because if it needs to be treated, I'm not a tax person, I'm just giving you the game that they give me. If that LLC at some point in your business building needs to be treated as an S Corp, C Corp, partnership, disregarded entity for tax purposes, your tax strategist, your CPA is going to do that. You shouldn't be concerning yourself with, what do I need, a C Corp, a S Corp, a double D Corp? No, just set up your LLC. So LLC number 1 is your holding company, okay? That's your parent company. So your holding company, your parent company needs to be your version of JP Morgan, your version of Merrill Lynch, your version of Berkshire Hathaway, your version of Walton Enterprises. You got to make sure you have that right the first time, not just from a entity structure perspective, but I think you needed to have it that way initially for mental purposes. Because if you're like me as an entrepreneur, you don't want to be imprisoned by things you don't know. You don't want to be boxed in. Even if you're not maximizing all the information you got, most entrepreneurs like me, we want to at least see the end before the beginning. We want to begin with the end in mind. So it doesn't mean you can't just start a regular LLC, start selling products, providing services, and then when you get the bag, go back and restructure it. You can. But if you know what I'm sharing with you, then your entity structure is going to be the first key. LLC number 1, holding company. LLC number 2, 3, 4, however many other LLCs you set up, they're going to be subsidiaries. So you have holding company, you got subsidiaries. They're not going to be owned by you. The subsidiaries are going to be owned by your holding company, okay? Also, you're going to have this thing that we call divisions. Now, your divisions are going to be operational departments inside of the holding company, okay? So I don't have a lot of room to draw, but let me just give you an example. This is you. So we're still talking about one right here. This is you. You got your holding company. And then you're going to have your subsidiaries. These are all legal entities. But you might also have certain operational departments, things that you do inside of your holding company, and we'll get to that. Things that you do inside of your subsidiaries. These things are going to be called divisions. That means they are operational activities, but they're not separate entities. Okay? That's the entity structure key. And that's going to be key. It's going to be critical. It's going to be important if you want to build a business empire. Now, if all you want to do is have a little hobby on the side, if all you looking to do is have a little gig to make a couple dollars so that you could go on a vacation once a year or do something for the family and the kids to get involved in, then we're not talking to you. I'm sorry. This conversation ain't for you. I'm talking to people who want to build empires, who want to be filthy rich because they got a lot of churches they need to help, communities they need to serve, family members they need to put on, things that they need to do in the world. If that ain't you, what I'm saying to you is a different language. But for those of you that's with me, first key, entity structure, holding company, LLC number 1, subsidiaries, LLC number 2, 3, 4, and beyond, and then you have your divisions. Second key is brand building. Now, again, it ain't like you're going to master this overnight, okay? I'm still trying to figure out how to build my brand. But guess what? At least I know it is one of the keys to building an empire. So when I talk about brand, here's what I want you to think about. A brand is how people see you, what people know you to be, who you are to the world. And guess what? You might be different things to different people, but you got to pick your poison. Who do you want to be to the world? Hopefully you want to be yourself. But if you're going to be yourself, especially if who you are is controversial, is questionable, whatever it is, you got to decide, is this the version of you that you want the world to know? Because that's going to become your brand, the way people see you, how people see you, who people see you as. So like for me, I made a decision that I wanted Ramon Preston to be a brand. I didn't just want Ramon Preston to be a brand, but I wanted Ramon Preston to be a business. So my entity structure is called Ramon Preston Enterprises. Why? Because I want Ramon Preston to be a brand, not just the guy that you looking at. It ain't about me personally as much as it's about me being the brand ambassador. I'm being the spokesperson. I'm being the character behind the brand so that this thing called Ramon Preston will be bigger than this dude at some point. So think about it. When I say the name JP Morgan, what do you think about? You think about the bank that gave you a loan to get your car. You think about Chase credit cards. You thinking about a line of credit you got. You thinking about a home loan you got. Why? Because JP Morgan has become a brand, but it's actually humans behind that. Okay? It's a person. Not Berkshire Hathaway, Keller Williams. You know Keller Williams as a real estate brokerage, but Keller Williams are two people. Okay? These are names that have become brands, but it started with a person. So you want to make sure that you understand the second key of brand building. Your brand is who you are. And guess what? You might be different versions that you want to package to give the world an opportunity, to give the marketplace an opportunity to know who you are. So I'm a preacher. That's a part of my brand, being a prophet, being a preacher, having a congregation, being a husband, being a grandfather, being a spiritual father. I take pride in that. Now, it's some people who might have certain faith components in their brand, or in their life, but they don't want it in their brand. I know a lot of people who do business, but they don't talk about their faith. They don't talk about their relationship with God. That ain't me. I'm a preacher. I will be in the middle of a business meeting and start prophesying and speaking in tongues because that's who I am. At least I'm giving people the ability to make a decision on, do you want to do business with that type of brand? A brand that if you work at my company here at my office, or if you come here at the beginning of the day, you're going to pray, because we praying every day. We'll be speaking in tongues. We be prophesying to each other. We prophesy and pray for and minister to our clients in business, and they expect that. And even if they don't expect it, they appreciate it. What am I saying to you? That's a part of building a brand. So your brand is important, and you got to decide, who am I to me? And who do I want to be to people? There may be certain aspects of your life that you don't want to be a part of your brand. Well, you're going to have to figure that out now before you get out there. So I'm grateful. I don't have millions of followers yet. I'm not well known yet, but you better believe when the time comes, I ain't going to be shaken. I'm not going to be thrown off if 1 million people follow me tomorrow. They're not going to throw me off. I'm not going to be confused about who I am, because I'm rooted and grounded in me, and it impacts my brand. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Now, part of your branding is marketing. Your brand is who you are. Your marketing is, how can I say it? Your marketing is the plan of action that you're going to use to actually get your brand out there. Okay? So what I'm doing right now is a form of marketing. But what am I marketing? I'm really marketing my brand. I'm a teacher. I'm an educator. I'm a consultant. I'm a coach. This is what I love to do. This is my brand. This is the brand of Ramon Preston. This is what we do, right? So I have to communicate that. I need a plan of action to get my brand out there. And so I do it through social media. But it also involves your promotion. I got to put some energy behind it. I can't be here talking low and, hey, everybody, and, I appreciate everybody coming on. That's not me. It's not my brand. I'm loud. I'm demonstrative. I'm extra. It is what it is. But at least I know what the brand is, and that's what you have to do as well. The third key to building a business empire is tax strategies. If there's one thing you're going to have to learn when you start making money, it's tax strategies. Or you're going to have to hire people who know tax strategies. Because your biggest expense as a W-2 employee, IG, your biggest expense as a 1099 independent contractor, if that's you watching, your biggest expense as a business owner, an entrepreneur, your biggest expense across the board is your taxes. So that means you have to know how to utilize tax strategies inside of these complex entity structures that are designed to give you the ultimate flexibility to lower your taxes and maximize your profits. You gotta know that. And that's a part of you building your empire, because I promise you right now, I know people who make a whole lot of money, but they're not able to build a real business empire, because just as much as they make, the taxes take, because they have not figured out the third key to building an empire. Number 4, high ticket services. Now, when we talk about high ticket services, this gets into intellectual property. Okay? This gets into what type of services are you offering? And I believe this to the core, and I teach this. It doesn't matter what type of business you have. no matter what type of product you sell or service you provide. You can tell me whatever you got, okay? I sell hoodies, okay? I shine shoes, okay? It doesn't matter. Whatever the business is that you have that's operating to sell products and offer services, you need to have high ticket services that represent the products you sell and the services you provide. So let me give you an example. If all I sell is hoodies and hats, okay, I'm just the hoodie guy. Well, that doesn't mean I can't create high ticket services just because I sell hoodies. I can actually become a consultant to people who want to get in the hoodie business. I can actually consult people who want to buy hoodies on the right hoodies to buy. I can become a coach for people who want to start a hoodie business. I can create educational content for people who want to learn about hoodies, manufacturing, delivering, logistics. There are so many different things that I can have a high ticket service on regarding a hoodie or a tumbler or shoe shining. That's a key to building your business empire. Now, I don't want to just be tooting my own horn. I'm just using myself as an example because that's a real world example. But think about it. Ramon Preston Enterprises is a holding company set up the right way. I have a brand, Ramon Preston. Under that brand, I have products and services, right? So I have a lot of business activities where I utilize tax strategies and other strategies. However, I have consulting services, coaching programs, I have educational content. All of this is intellectual assets that I own that I can reproduce and repackage in a way to provide as high ticket, high level services and products. The fifth key is your systems and processes. Okay? Your systems and processes. In order for you to build a business empire, and the truth is, in order for you to have any type of business outside of having a shade tree business or a mom and pop business, you got to learn the ins and outs of integrating systems and processes. We're talking about systems. What do I mean by systems? I'm going to make it easy for you. A system is a platform that houses information. So let's say, for example, I have different departments in my organization. I got a sales department. I got a marketing department. I got an administrative operational department. I have an executive department. I have all these different departments, right? Okay, each one of these departments need to have systems or platforms that house the data or the information for these areas, so that I can start tracking the activity in those areas to see what's working and to see what's not working. As I track it and as I gather it, I can create processes around it, measurable steps to see the results. Another way of putting it is I can know my KPIs, my key performance indicators. I can know how many things I need to do here in order to get a result here, whether it's sales, marketing, finances, administration. Now remember, I'm making it sound easy as if I got it all figured out. That ain't true. It's just not the truth. I might make it sound easy like I got all this figured out, but you have no idea how crazy it is showing up to this office every day and trying to figure out what you might think I got figured out. Most entrepreneurs and business owners I know don't have all this figured out. And here's the thing about it. When they think they got it figured out, something happens and glitches to remind them you ain't got it figured out. Especially as you continue to build your empire. You're going to need better systems, more processes. It never ends. But if you're committed to it, then you're gonna get through it. The fifth key is, and I love these. Let me tell y'all something. Oh my God. Are y'all with me so far? Did I lose you on any of them? If y'all watching live, or even if it's a replay, put in the comments where you at with me. You know, are you understanding me? Do you feel your boy? Are you learning something? Is it making sense? Is it resonating to you? If you feel overwhelmed, don't worry. Just stick with it. Just keep going for the ride, because I get overwhelmed too. But I'm committed to the climb, right? I'm committed to the climb. I'm committed to building an empire. I'm committed to having 8, 9, 10 plus figures in my organization because I got churches I need to bless, families I need to support. I got communities I want to change. I got so many things I want to do. I need an empire because I can't afford to do it with a regular business. I can't afford to do it with just a couple dollars. All right. So give me some feedback. Let me know you're still with me, that you didn't get lost in the sauce somewhere. I want to make sure y'all with me. So these last three, this is like this is the next level right here. The last three. This is the next level. So these are keys to building an empire. Entity structure, that's 1. Brand building, 2. Tax strategies, 3. High ticket services, 4. Systems and processes, 5. Now, when we get to 6, 7, and 8, it's all about assets. It's all about assets. So if I were to pinpoint where I think I'm at in my business, I would have to say I'm here. I'm at 7, building a strategy to get to 8. So 6 is asset accumulation. What do I mean by asset accumulation? Well, this is where you start looking at the landscape of everything you got in your life. Okay? Now, I have one of my courses, I teach about asset accumulation, and I share with you probably 30 plus different assets that are common that you might not even be thinking about. Let me just give y'all a couple just to kind of tease you a little bit, because I have one of my workbooks in front of me. So let me show you some of the assets that could be common assets. Let's see, trademarks, copyrights, intellectual property, digital currency, real estate, royalties, equipment, platforms, inventory, leases could be assets, personal belongings. I mean, it's so many things that could be considered assets. But the thing of it is, you have to identify with those assets. That means you got to educate yourself to learn how to identify with things as an asset. If this was an asset, this pen, this digital pen, if this was an asset and you saw it, you wouldn't know it's an asset unless you knew the value and the application, right? Unless you knew this was a digital pen for a digital board, you wouldn't know how valuable this thing was. But if you did know that this was to this board, you would know this is an asset, because without this, I ain't gonna be able to use that thing the way I'm supposed to, right? So you have to learn how to identify with things that you have. It could be your savings account. For some of you business owners, it could be your 401k from your last job that you ain't working at. It could be a retirement account. It could be stocks and bonds you got. It could be anything that you have. It could be jewelry you got sitting in a safe. These could all be assets that you may have to start accumulating to start increasing the net worth and the value of your company so that you can get to that empire level. That's asset accumulation. Then you have asset acquisitions. When you get to the acquisition stage, as I said, I'm at stage 7 where I've accumulated a lot of different assets. I got copyrights, I got trademarks, I got IP. I got a lot of things that I've accumulated, and I'm monetizing a lot of them, not like I want to, but at least I have them created, I have them accumulated, and I have them positioned. Okay? I have them positioned. So now I can start asset acquisition. Now I'm going to go outside of my ecosystem and start pulling in other assets through acquisitions, whether it's real estate assets, whether it's business assets. That's where I'm at right now. I want to get there and take that to another level. And then you have asset management. When you get to asset management, I got a call through. When you get to asset management, this is where all the money is. All the money is at asset management. So those are the 8 keys. And again, I only gave you the surface. I have a lot of different training content, and I do a lot of coaching with my clients and mentees on these keys and so many other concepts. But at least you could see that these are 8 keys to help you build a business empire. Now, here's what I want to do for you, just in case something I said resonated with you. Number 1, I want to give you access to a free business assessment workbook. So when someone joins my mentorship program or my online educational program, my millionaire mentorship or my millionaire blueprint or both, they get access to all of our workbooks, our videos, our training courses, covering everything that I've talked about, because my education and coaching is really designed to help you engineer a $1 million company. However, if you are a client and I'm consulting you, or if you are a one-on-one coaching client, I'm going to sit down with you and I'm going to walk you through a 5-step process that we use to coach and consult our clients. Well, that 5-step process was put in a workbook form of 17 pages that we're offering to you. It's free. All you have to do is click the link in the description, download it, and you can literally start the process of performing a self-assessment on yourself without me or any coach. Now, what's probably going to happen is once you start going through the workbook and the tutorial videos that I have to accompany the workbook, you're going to start having questions. Oh my God, I don't know about the holding company. Or I have 2 other LLCs. How do I transfer them under the holding company? And systems or QuickBooks or project management or CRMs or KPIs. Some of these things are going to start overwhelming you. What you need to do is just take notes, highlight whatever it is that you have a question on, and then just reach out to me and my team for a quick strategy call. So whatever the questions are that you have, you could get them answered. Whatever information or direction you need, we could give you that information and direction so that you can move along the way. So free business assessment workbook inside of the description. Click the link. Strategy call if you need a strategy call. Maybe you get the workbook, walk through the videos that we have accompanying it, and you figure it out and you start building your empire. If for some reason you have questions, reach out to us. Text the word strategy to one of those numbers. All you have to do is text the word strategy to one of those numbers. Let me make sure IG is back on. I don't know if it's back on or not. You could text the word strategy to one of those numbers, and we'll be more than happy to jump on a strategy call, answer any questions you have. I hope you enjoyed today's show. I really, really do, on how to build a business empire. Listen, this information I just shared with my mentees who pay thousands of dollars to be in our millionaire mentorship program. I just shared this with them. Of course, I went deeper. However, it's awesome that you can just join a live show free, other than what you hear some of the things that I talk to my clients, my mentees and students about. So we appreciate you for joining the show. Thank you. Leave a comment. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube page. And again, take advantage of the opportunity to get that free business assessment workbook. It's 17 pages. It walks you through the 5 steps that we use when we sit down with our coaching clients. I mean, we've had clients that we consulted, small business owners. We've helped them organize their enterprises, and they paid us thousands of dollars to do this. Like, I'm not just on here talking with my hat backwards as if I don't know what I'm doing. We do this every day, and it's an amazing feeling to help entrepreneurs and small business owners properly start and structure their businesses, and then to see how they start to scale it and make money and hire staff and be a blessing to their families and their churches and communities. It does my heart well, and we want to give you an opportunity to see how that coaching assessment and process looks, and I know that it will be beneficial to you and to your business and family. So thank you for joining the show. We appreciate you all, love you, And we'll see you next time, same place, right here on the Ramon Preston Show. Peace.